The pitch is on fire, and the action is non-stop. Brazilian goalkeeper Lelê just delivered a masterclass performance to secure the FIFA Series title. Despite Brazil playing with 10 players after Ari Borg saw red, Lelê stood like a wall against relentless Canadian pressure to lock in that 1-0 victory. This win wasn't just about the trophy for Lelê. It was a triumphant return after an intense personal battle with a depressive episode that she bravely shared with the world.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
On the other side of the pitch, Canada felt the sting of a narrow defeat. Coach Casey Stoney is looking at the bigger picture, praising her team's grit and determination despite falling short against Brazil. Even with star goalkeeper Kylan Sheridan holding firm and a near miss from Eveline Veens hitting the post, the Canadians just could not find the back of the net to equalize. Stoney is now demanding more clinical finishing as the team pivots their focus toward crucial World Cup and Olympic qualifiers. The conversation around Real Madrid sensation Vinicius Jr. has reached a boiling point. Former Brazilian international Joao Miranda is making headlines with a blunt assessment of the star forward. While acknowledging his elite physical and technical gifts, Miranda argues that Vinicius Jr. is still lacking that certain something to reach the legendary status of icons like Neymar or Messi. Miranda also weighed in on the racism Vinicius Jr. faces in Spain, sparking a major debate about focus and mental resilience on the pitch. Finally, we are looking back at the incredible history of the sport that continues to shape the future of the game today. From the tactical evolution of the Brazilian national squad to the enduring legacies of past champions, the passion for football across the globe is stronger than ever. If you want to stay ahead of all the latest news, match breakdowns, and exclusive insights, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. What does it take to stand tall when the entire weight of a nation is resting on your shoulders? Ask Lelê, the Brazilian goalkeeper who just put on a masterclass in resilience during the FIFA Series final against Canada. It wasn't just a trophy on the line. It was a test of pure, unadulterated grit. Brazil held a slim 1-0 lead thanks to Aline Gomes, but things went south fast when Ari Borgs was sent off. Down to 10 players and facing a relentless Canadian barrage, Brazil looked ready to break, but Lelê refused to let the dream die. Those back-to-back saves in the 41st and 50th minutes of the second half, absolute heroics. But the real story here goes way deeper than a clean sheet. After the whistle blew, an emotional Lelê pulled back the curtain on a silent battle she's been fighting, a recent, undisclosed depressive episode. To see a world-class athlete excel on the biggest stage while dealing with such heavy internal burdens is nothing short of inspiring. She told us she's committed to guarding that Brazilian goal for as long as her body allows. And frankly, after a performance like that, we should all be rooting for her to stay on that pitch forever. With 10 unbeaten matches at home, the Canarinha is building serious momentum toward the 2027 World Cup, and playing in front of their home crowd is clearly fueling the fire. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Brazilian grit, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind the beautiful game. At the end of the day, sports remind us that the biggest victories are often the ones we win against ourselves. What does it take to turn a tough loss into a building block for greatness? Canada's women's soccer team just found out the hard way in their 1-0 defeat to Brazil in the FIFA Series finale. Now, on paper, a loss is a loss. But if you look past the scoreboard, Coach Casey Stoney is seeing something much more promising. Despite falling to a late strike from Aline Gomes, the Canadians showcased a grit and tactical adaptability that suggests they are evolving right when it matters most. It was a gritty battle where nothing seemed to bounce Canada's way, including a controversial no-call on Eveline Veens that turned a promising breakaway into the very transition that led to Brazil's goal. Stoney didn't mince words about that refereeing decision, but she was equally blunt about her own squad. To reach the next level, they simply have to finish. With chances like that header from Veens skimming the post, the quality is clearly there, but the clinical edge is the final piece of this puzzle. Even down a player, Brazil held firm, but Canada's refusal to fold against a 7th-ranked powerhouse is a testament to the culture they are building. This tournament wasn't just about the results. It was about forced togetherness, testing their identity, and preparing for the high-stakes qualifiers ahead. As they look toward the World Cup, the message is clear. Culture is a daily habit, and they are putting in the work. What do you think? Is Canada on the right track for 2027, or is the lack of finishing a red flag? Let me know your take in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world of soccer. Remember, sometimes you learn more from a loss than you ever do from a victory. Is Vinicius Jr. truly elite, or is he just missing that final, elusive spark to cement his legacy? The Brazilian superstar is currently finding himself in the eye of a storm, coming off a turbulent season at Real Madrid and facing heat for a lackluster showing against Bayern Munich. But the most biting critique didn't come from a random pundit. It came from his own compatriot and former Atletico Madrid legend, Joao Miranda. Speaking on Mario Suarez's podcast, Miranda didn't mince words. While he acknowledges the sheer technical talent and physical dominance Vinicius brings to the pitch, he insists the winger is still a tier below the icons. We're talking about the stratosphere of Messi, Neymar, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Miranda's take is fascinating. He suggests that while Vinicius has the engine and the skills, he's lacking that something extra, perhaps a certain magnetism or charisma that defines the absolute legends of the game. It's a bold claim, especially in an era where modern football has become so heavily reliant on raw physical output. But the conversation took a heavier turn when addressing the racism Vinicius consistently faces in Spain. Miranda offered a controversial perspective, noting that he never personally experienced such hostility during his time in La Liga because he chose to tune out the noise, viewing it as a deliberate distraction designed to break a player's concentration. He argues that once you let the fans live rent-free in your head, your performance inevitably suffers. It begs the question, is Vinicius being held back by forces outside his control, or is there a genuine growth gap he needs to bridge to reach the mountaintop? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Does Vinicius have that legendary X-factor, or is he destined to remain just a tier below the greats? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world of football. And remember, in a game defined by pressure, your focus is your most valuable asset. Ever wondered why Brazil isn't just a national team, but a religion? It's not just about the 5 stars on the crest. It's about the lineage of legends who turned grass into a canvas and a ball into an extension of their own souls. Today, we're diving deep into the DNA of the Seleção. From the era of Pelé, where he practically invented the modern game, to the sheer, unadulterated joy of Ronaldinho's smile as he dismantled defenses, Brazil has always been the gold standard for flair. It's fascinating how a country facing its own set of internal challenges has consistently produced a conveyor belt of world-class talent, players who don't just play for victory, but for beauty. Think about Ronaldo Nazario, a force of nature that defied physics, or the elegance of Zico. They weren't just athletes. They were artists defining a cultural identity that the rest of the world has spent decades trying to emulate, but never quite capturing the same rhythm. What strikes me most is that every generation seems to inherit a specific responsibility: to entertain. That's the weight of the yellow jersey, a pressure that would crush most. Yet for them, it's a launch pad for immortality. Whether you grew up watching the magic of the 70s or the tactical mastery of the early 2000s, there is something undeniably captivating about the Brazilian spirit on the pitch. If you want to keep exploring the history of the beautiful game, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell to join our community. Because when it comes to football, the story never ends. It just evolves. After all, if football is the world's heart, Brazil has always been its heartbeat.